Shalom, shalom, mishpachah, shalom family, Barak Atah, Barak Hashim, Yahuwah, Bahashim, Yahusha. All praises to the Most High Yah, Todah Rabbah, Yah for another Yom. Just coming to you with a little morning prayer that some people may need to hear, as well as I needed to hear. So, oh Yah, enlighten my mind with truth, inflame my heart with love, inspire my will with courage, enrich my life with service. Pardon what I have been, sanctify what I am, order what I shall be, and thine shall be the glory, and mine the eternal salvation through Yahusha HaMashiach. Dear Yah, today I choose to release everything that has tried to hold me back. I release the past, I release bitterness, I release failures, I release missed opportunities. Instead, I embrace your grace and power to boldly move forward into the blessings you have for me. Amen. Y'all say that with me. Say it slow, Mishpachah, my Hebrew family, my Hebrews and my Shebrews, man. So some things that I try to install into yourself mentally. You know what I'm saying? Install into yourself. You know, tie the scriptures around your neck and write them on your forehead. Just have this mindset and this focus 24/7. Seek Yah early. Seek him daily. Meditate on his word. Even if you just read a scripture, even if you read one chapter a day, whatever it is, that's 7 chapters a week. Don't put the Most High to the side. At least try not to. Sometimes we focus on here, focus on that. Oh, I'll read later. We put him to the side, sometimes not even knowingly, and we don't mean no disrespect at times. But if you think about it, it's crazy that we may have time for social media. Of course, we got time to eat. We get time to get dressed. We get time to, brush our teeth. We give our time to all that. And yes, that has to be done. But the first thing you do, as soon as your feet touch the ground, your knees should drop and pray. Night prayer is great as well. Don't get me wrong. But that morning prayer, you made it through the night. You woke up, because some people didn't. So that night prayer, yeah, you pray for the watchmen and you pray for the Molochs, the angels, to watch over you and to protect you as you sleep, to protect your children and your family. But then when you make it through and your eyes open that morning, you have to give thanks that you are alive to see another Yom, another day in Hebrew. You know that you have been able to rejoice in the day that he has made. The sun is up. Get up when the sun is up. That's what they did in the biblical days. There wasn't alarm clocks. When that sun got up, they was up. Rise and shine. Grand rising. So just get that morning prayer, that morning focus. I promise you, your day will be going so lovely. I bet a lot of times, and speaking of myself, that I had bad days. I probably didn't pray that morning. I was rushing. I was late for work. I went to work. I was grumpy. I didn't start my day with prayer. When you start your day with prayer, I don't need coffee. I don't need energy drinks. I don't need none of that. You get that energy from the Ruach HaKodesh. When you wake up and you pray, it's a different kind of feeling. Like I just woke up, bags under my eyes, but the more I'm speaking of this, the more energetic I'm giving, because the word is life. The Ruach is life. The spirit is life. It gives you energy and good vibes. When you think about what he have done, when you don't look like what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? When you could just give thanks to him daily just for waking me up. It's freezing in my house. I'm in Oklahoma, so it's cold. And I got all wood floor. I wake up, I'm freezing, I'm putting my coats on. But there's people who are literally outside, literally freezing. How can I complain about it being cold right now? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So you got to be blessed for a roof over your head, for clothes on your back, shoes on your feet. You may not have everything that you want, but you got everything that you need. There's some people who will die to trade places with you. So we can't complain. Just wake up and pray. Some people, you may not be able to drop to your knees. I got sciatica nerve damage and it kills me. But I still drop down through the pain, because Yah is my strength. Yah is life. There's nothing else. You know what I mean? So you have to find that time. Even if you have to dedicate the time. If you have to, I got to stop everything at 4 o'clock every day and I have to go pray for 10 minutes. I have to go read a scripture, whatever it is. If you got to organize that, because we know there's single parents. They have mothers. You guys are, your women are doing so much. You got the kids. You got to take them to school. You got to do this. You got to work. Some of the single parents. So I understand time gets hard. You have us men who, I'm working all the time, working this. Wake up earlier. If I got to be to work at 7, if I get up at 6 to get dressed to get to work, or 5:30, Wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Give that 30 minutes. Go read the scripture real quick. Go pray real quick. Dedicate the time to the Most High. He didn't have to wake us up this morning. We believe because we healthy that every day is promised. He has to just wake us up. No, he does not. You are not promised every day. And that's the truth. That's the way it is. So just understand that you have to dedicate that time. We have 24 hours in a day. You can't dedicate 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, then you need a lot more prayer. You need to be a lot more devoted into your walk into this truth. Even if you give him, you don't have to be on your knees. Driving in the car, pray. Listen to the truth music. Get that in your spirit. Play an audible. We all have electronics, so we all on social media 24/7. And so go on YouTube and just play a sermon. Just get the word. There's so many ways that we can get the word, and we be like, oh, I didn't have time. Oh, I didn't read today. Okay, you didn't have to read today, but at least you could have played the truth music while you was driving. That's still a form of the word. That's still a form of the truth. That's still a form of getting his word inside of you. Be filled with that word. Just like we can wake up and listen. You can wake up and go play the baby and turn up and post your Snapchats on the way to work while you playing the baby. The baby ain't gonna get you to salvation. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to get you there, but you find time for that. We find time to argue with people. We find time to debate. We find time to copy and paste the scriptures on our Facebook and don't even read it. But we copy and paste it to make the world think that we all righteous in this so-called truth. But we ain't reading it. We ain't applying it to our daily life. You know what I'm saying? So it's different when you reading the scriptures and when you try to apply them. We all have to do that. Every last one of us. We all have more work to do. We can read this Bible 1,000 times and you will still learn something. We will never stop learning. We all have work to do, and we all must do this together collectively, mishpachah, as family. That's what family means in Hebrew. We have to do this together as family. We have to come together. We have to stop killing each other. We have to build each other. We have to stop fighting, trying to win arguments when our goal is to win souls. Go win a soul. Don't focus on trying to win an argument. Because that ain't of the Most High. You're not supposed to sit there. When you argue with a fool, you become a fool. You got to have more wisdom and more knowledge than that. You can debate and say, okay, well, look at this. Okay, well, look at that, and try to get an understanding. But when it gets to arguing and fighting and he become foolish, you have to allow that fool to be in his foolish ways by himself. You cannot entertain that. Every conversation is not worth entering. Every debate is not worth entering, especially if it's going to take away your peace. You cannot let nobody take away your shalom. You cannot let nobody take away your shalom. You get what I'm saying? So if they took away your peace, it's because you gave them the keys to do it. You gave them the access to take away your peace. So you can't really blame them. If you gave them the keys to drive that car, for them to drive your car of peace, you gave them the keys to do it because you entertained in something that was foolish. Don't give them the keys to your happiness. So you got to look at the mirror like, yeah, it's my fault. I shouldn't even engage in that. Now I'm pissed off. Now I'm mad. Now my spirit is off. You engaged in that conversation. You could have left it alone and just said, may Yah bless you. You have a good one. So just try to, I do little stuff like this. This 25 cents. Oh, man, of course, I scratch out God and put Yah, all praises. But I get these little images off of the internet. I save them to my phone. I go to CVS and I print them out for 25 cents. That's why I have so many flashcards and things like this to read. And when I'm trying to share things and stuff like that, I invest 25 cents in prayers that's all over my house. So if I don't have my Bible at the time, if I don't have my phone at the time, I got these laying everywhere to say a prayer for remembrance. That's what fringes and all of this stuff is for. Is remembrance of who you are, where you come from, and who you serve. It's just like when you work at McDonald's, you have a McDonald's uniform to represent who you work for. When you work at Amazon, UPS, you have on those uniforms to show who you work for. Well, my uniform say Yah because I'm a servant of the Most High. That's who I work for. These fringes, that lets me know that I'm set apart. That's who I work for. That's who I serve. So a lot of this is all remembrance, who you work for. We got to have all this. So it's just motivation to find time for the Most High. I don't care if it has to be forced. If your salvation is as serious as you making it seem, you have to find time. There's no way around it. I don't care if you got to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning when you go to the bathroom to pee in the middle of the night. Oh, let me just read a scripture real quick. You can read one verse. You know what I mean? You can read 3 lines. But I guarantee you get filled with that. Read one verse, read one scripture. Go to bed and play the Audible on your phone. There's King James Bible apps that you can play that talks. Play the scripture while you go to sleep. Now the word is meditated all through your mental, all through your brain as you slept. The word was just going up. And you know, when I played it, and you wake up, it's still going because the Bible is so long. You know, you only sleeping, 5 to 6 hours. You wake up, it's still going. I wake up and still let it play. So therefore, I'm still waking up to the word. I'm going to bed to the word. It's in my mind. It's written it's tied to my neck. It's written on my forehead. Meditate on it day and night. Like I say, even if you can find time for a chapter, a verse, 5 lines, at least you put some effort towards him. We should find way more time than that. But I'm being a realist. Sometimes things happen. You get busy. You forget. Like I say, when you're in the car, play a sermon. When you're on your phone, play. You could go to Pandora and play some truth music. Just find ways to work it throughout your schedule. That's why it's called it's a balance. That's why it's called planning. Set your days out. You know how your week is gonna be. I gotta take the kids to school here. I make lunch here. I make food there. All that time you're doing that, a lot of times we on our phone. Set your phone down and let a sermon play. Let the King James Bible app play. Or you can still let it play and you can still text, whatever the case may be. But there's ways that you can find time, because we find time for everything else. And we put I do it on the Sabbath. There's no scripture that says only study on the Sabbath. Everything says daily, meditate daily, seek him daily, worship him daily. There's nothing that says only read on the Sabbath. If anything, the Sabbath says rest. But we know, we go out and do the Most High work and we do things of that nature. Yes. But the instructions, we know not to cook. Don't spend money. We know all of that. But nothing says only study on the Sabbath. You can, by talking to somebody, you can understand that they only study on the Sabbath than a person that's reading and studying 7 days a week. You can see the difference of the understanding in the scriptures, the way they word the scriptures, the way they speak, the way they walk, all of that. You can see the difference in the person who seeks daily and the person who does the worldly things, and then Saturday does the Sabbath. That is no different when we were in the church. We all did that. I for sure did it. Monday through Saturday, sinning, turning up, clubs Friday, Saturday night. Oh, I'm going to go to church on Sunday and it's going to be good. We're doing the same thing in this truth. I'm going to do this. Not saying we sinning in the world, but I mean, we're just putting him to the side like, I got so much to read. I can't wait to read it on the Sabbath. What are you putting it to the side for? But you're on Facebook 7 days a week, even on the Sabbath. Yet his word get put to the side for Saturday, for Friday night to Saturday night, however you do the Sabbath, your Shabbat. But we find time for everything else. There is no tomorrow. We are in the end times. We are in the end days. Find time for Abba Yah. Brother Enam signing off. Shalom. Mishpachah, my Hebrews and my Shebrews. Y'all have a Barak day. A blessed day. Shalom.